Hello everyone and welcome back to another TSR track guide. Today we are at the French Grand Prix. It's Le Castellet. Not the best circuit for real life racing, but for the virtual racing on this game it should be a cracker, like the ones we've seen before. Very interesting track, 15 corners we have to navigate through, two DRS zones, and I would say we jump straight on board with TSR Alesi, who provided this lap. And before the lap even starts, we see that he is taking a very wide line there for the final corner, which you can do just to gain a bit of extra speed on the straight. So going down to first, up to second, you can even opt for third, opening up the DRS, and now the line has been pushed a bit further away, and the line actually is right here where it was in 2019. It was way before here. So you have to go a bit longer on your lap. In the end, it takes a bit longer on the straight to get to the line. So now coming to the first turn, and you want to go as far to right as you can, and we will see his braking point around 80 meters. It's a bit of a blind corner. You want to take a lot of apex on the left hand side and a lot of apex on the right hand side then for this next right hander, because you can see on the track map on the left hand side that it will be a in very quick succession, a left hander and the right hander. So you can see the bollard a bit in the distance on the left hand side. That's where you want to place your car. Alesi does that very nicely. We can see that here he just misses the bollard there, and will now come to the next right-hander where he misses the apex ever so slightly, but still a good run through there. You don't want to get too wide here because that can invalidate your time, as well as cutting one of the previous corners. Now shifting up to 8th gear, and for this next right-hander, you can see that there's a section of corners coming up. A right-hander, a very tight left-hander, followed by two right-handers as well. So you can see around 65 meters is where you want to brake for this right-hander, just ever so slightly going down to 4th gear, clipping the apex, and now clipping the apex here as well, a lot actually, just placing your car in the middle basically. Going down to 3rd gear, you can even opt for 2nd if you want. Let your car go to the left as much as you can. Going down to 2nd gear, hitting the bollard there is a lazy, but you can do that, you can avoid that, totally up for you. Now, not going too wide there, up to 3rd gear, just to avoid losing your traction, because it's a very tricky traction zone as well. And also getting a lot of curb on the inside here. 4th gear, now you want to let your car go wide to the left as you can, because now the DRS zone is coming up. Short left-hander there, opening up the DRS now, and probably your best overtaking opportunity on this circuit, because the DRS and slipstream here is quite powerful. So for this next left-hander, which is basically also a blind thing, very confusing around here, the track is, I'm not gonna lie, because you don't really know where to go. Around 80-90 meters is where you want to brake for this next left-hander. Also, like I said, the best overtaking opportunity basically on the circuit, where you want to hit the inside bollard on the left-hand side there, or you just want to miss it, of course. You don't want to hit it, because that would invalidate your time. Alesi taking a lot of inside curb here, which is good, because then he has a better line through this next right-hander, which is basically some people call it a chicane. I don't really, because that's a left, right, left. Not really chicane for me, but you want to clip the apex here as well. So taking a lot of apexes around this track is what you want to do, and placing your car in the middle basically. Now up to 4th gear, and there's the second part of this long straight, no DRS, coming to the end of the first sector, of the second sector, of course. Now for this right-hander, also a very tricky corner, especially in the wet, because then you can lose your car really easily, and that's of course something you don't want. You could lose your car there and just spin it off. Also in in damp conditions, that could be the case, or if your setup isn't good enough. So a lot of setup work has to be done around here. Now for this next right-hander, you can see that on the map. It's a very, very long right-hander with basically two apexes you have to take. That's the first one here. Let your car go wide. And then there's a bit of a dip there. That's where your, yeah, basically your upshift point is for P5, for your fifth gear. And basically you want to hit that apex on the inside there. Alesi misses it a bit, shifts up to fifth. And now also a very, very difficult part of the track, because that corner has so many lines you can take through. Take a bit of a wider line. Alesi opts to stay in the middle of the track here, hitting the apex there ever so slightly, or missing it ever so slightly better. Let your car go to the right. Third gear, you don't want to invalidate your time here. Fourth gear now. And yeah, flat out through this section, and then we can see he's hitting the brakes just before the sign on the left hand side, which says turn 14. On the right hand side you will have the pit entry, and that's basically where you want to brake. And yeah, bit of lift and coast there through this turn with the brakes, and no throttle input at all. Hitting the apex there on the left hand side, and now up to fourth and quickly down to first just to get that bit of extra rotation. Now let your car go to the apex, opening up the DRS, and yeah, coming up to the line, which is a bit further, like I said in the beginning. And there is your lap, 27.534 from Alesi. Pretty solid effort there. Setup is on your screens right now. That's it from me. I say thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week.